What's up, guys? This is Brett here, and welcome back to another episode of the Short Time Podcast. This is the podcast where I sit down with interesting digital nomads, expats, and entrepreneurs, all of which are coming through and passing through Chiang Mai in Thailand. So today I'm joined by Guy Monroe, the charisma coach.
Hey, brother.
Hey. And Guy's been in Chiang Mai for how long now?
I guess it's a month.
A month?
I'm in love.
Yeah. So I met Guy, how long ago was it? Like a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And you have just...
At an awesome restaurant.
Yes.
You picked it, and you were right. We had that English breakfast. Oh,
yeah,
my God.
the Archers.
Yeah.
Good place for an English breakfast if you're looking for somewhere in Chiang Mai.
The real deal.
Yeah. And Guy, you've just relocated here, right?
Yeah.
For a permanent move.
So that's very interesting because it was like, I've never been here before. And, but I have fallen in love with it, with the idea. You and everyone has said, it's inexpensive, check it out. And so, but there are a lot of other factors, right?
Yeah.
Every single thing that you said and they said was true. And then some. I keep looking for the dark side.
All right.
And I can't find it. There's a video of you jogging around the moat. It's 1:30 in the morning. So nobody wants to mug me. I'm absolutely shocked. And it's true, man. It's true. It's like I walk down these streets, pack of dogs comes out. I expect them to attack me. They don't. I walk down these streets, expect to get jumped. I'm all alone, back roads. My body could be disposed of. I expect to get jumped. I'm not.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on. People are sweet. And
yeah. It's not to say that there is a lot of bad shit happens in Thailand.
of course.
Lots of but it's like it's kind of like one. It doesn't really happen. Chiang Mai is much nicer than the rest of the country.
Is it an anomaly? Is it its own unique?
Yeah, well, it's kind of
creature?
so far away. It could almost be a second country, right? 'Cause it takes like an hour on the plane, and there's really, well, as far as like foreigners go, there's fuck all in between. Like people just do Bangkok or they come up here. They don't go in the middle, in between. Right. But I think all the crime and stuff is all kept in Bangkok and Pattaya and stuff like that. All that. But here's just a nice place.
You know, someone told me the reason why, and you may have been the person who said, I don't know, but someone said something that was really interesting. People don't have credit here. What they have is their word. So one guy said, to understand Thai people is to understand their relationship to family, and should I wait?
No, you're right.
Really?
I can cut, but
okay.
just keep going.
Cool.
That's right.
All right. It's their relationship to their family, their connection with family. So you have your word and you have your village. Right. So if you have strayed too far from your village and people know who you are, if you bring shame to your family and your community, that is your AAA credit rating. That is everything to our comparison to it in the West. So how they are looked upon, it can destroy them. Right?
That's true, actually. Now that you say it, like, obviously I know about that, how like it's all like saving face and they don't ever want to bring shame to family. I always thought that the crime was low also just because of the Buddhist thing, because they're very Buddhist, right? And they believe in karma a lot. Yeah. So like, could steal from you, but they don't steal from you just because they probably think somebody will steal from them later, or something like that. Do you get what I mean? It's probably right what you're saying about the saving face and with the family.
I think anyone who has a spirit house in their front yard has their act together.
Yeah.
I was having coffee this morning and I was looking at one that's beautiful, and it was set up with it was just gorgeous, and it had Fanta drinks with the tops popped and straws hanging out of it, and I'm thinking to myself, that's humility, right? I mean, couldn't that be a symbol for like a respect for the unknown, right? So that infers humility to me.
Do you know why they put Fanta on the spirit house?
No.
I had to Google it and find out, but it's to do with this because they reckon the spirits live in the spirit houses, right? And the spirits apparently can taste sweet things, and strawberry Fanta just happens to be like the most sweetest drink you can buy, right? And if you look at it online, I was reading like Coca-Cola actually had to come out and make a statement and say like, we are not trying to do this like as a promotion, because like Coca-Cola owned Fanta, and like all the Thais are putting it on all the spirit houses, and it was like they just happened to have picked strawberry Fanta. It has nothing to do with us, like just because it's the sweetest drink and they reckon the spirits can taste it. But that's actually why they do it.
Brilliant.
Weird, right?
Totally.
I had a friend once, right? This is a funny story, and his girlfriend had a spirit house outside, and he was out. I don't know how he managed to do this, but apparently he drilled a hole through her spirit house. He was doing some like DIY or something, and she went absolutely crazy and like basically left him just because like he disrespected the spirits, and they're so superstitious, right? And he said, so what he did is he fabricated like a little pump onto where he drilled the hole, and he said no, and he made like a little Fanta pump on the spirit house. And he said, that's what I was doing. I was making a little like a little pump for Fanta, and she was like, oh right, cool, thanks, and forgave him.
Wow.
Okay, I've got to get that guy on this podcast actually, because he's the funniest guy. He's got some really funny stories. I won't mention his name, but yeah, loads of funny stories like that. He's been here for a long time. All right. But so Guy, how are you finding it so far, other than not getting mugged?
Falling madly in love.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
The people are absolutely forgiving that I don't speak the language, because I try.
Yeah.
I greet them. I say the local greeting and thank you a lot, and give a lot of respect.
Yeah.
And shoes come off before I go in, and so you get points for that. You're civilized.
Yeah.
If you do that, so there's hope for you as a Westerner.
Yeah.
Right. So if from that, it's like, and it gives them hope, right? Oh, it's one more Westerner who's civilized, right? So all I can tell you is I'm falling in love with this place. The people are sweet. The people are helpful. Everyone is interested. We're in a slower town, so people don't seem to be crazy. They're not out trying to outrun the devil or grab that brass ring, you know? So that means the world to me.
Yeah, where in the US was you from?
Austin, Texas.
You're from Austin, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Love
You
Austin.
probably told me and I forgot.
Oh, didn't I? No?
Oh, I can't remember. No, I don't think
All right.
so.
Well, now you know.
Austin.
Texas. I
Okay.
can tell you all about it. Yeah.
Right.
Love Austin.
So what brought you out here? What made you, like you say, you just fancied a change and you just saw a couple of videos and...
Yeah, well, what I really want to do is I've been dreaming for years to write. And writing it, for me, just for me, is going to require a little bit of relaxation, slow things down, a little less pressure, right? So if I don't have to come up with $2,000 a month for rent and another $80 a month for Wi-Fi and car insurance, and
Yeah.
that's a possibility to get some writing done.
Right. So what are you looking to write?
I've done
Like fiction or non-fiction?
No. Actually, I want to bottle 15 years of research in personal expression. I started off as a voice coach.
Right.
And then my students came up to me and they said, stage fright, can you fix it? So I went online and did research. There's nothing out there. Nothing. Acting classes, but nothing. So I wanted to find a mechanical way. I was a handyman when I was a kid, a million years ago. Fix stuff. So it's got to be a way to fix this. So how do you fix someone having a dreadful time, and how do you move them into having a good time? And no bullshit, but for real. There's got to be a way. So maybe they're doing something common. What's Tony Robbins doing and all these guys doing to inspire themselves? I found out. So the writing is about creating a systemization. It is the end of social anxiety, the end of it, gone. And now it's like, what's that going to look like? How do I structure it? Bite-sized pieces, all that, you know? A curriculum, a training model. We start from somewhere and go somewhere.
That's generally the hardest part, I find, especially if I create like online courses and just the planning.
I was going to ask you for help. Right. You know, it's like...
probably not be much help to you, mate.
Yeah.
I think it just takes just time, right? You flesh the idea out, and then you flesh it out again, then you sit on it, and then you get a new perspective suddenly come to you. But you're always worried as well about starting, because you're always like, well, is this the best way to explain it? You don't want to get halfway through creating it, like a book, a course, a product, or anything, and then be like, oh fuck, like I could have explained it way better, you know? I guess you have to start at some point, but yeah, I always find that's the hardest part of the planning.
You know, what is beginner? What is intermediate? What's advanced? Like you said, it's just like, it blows my mind. So I'm used to working with people. Like if you and I got together,
Yeah.
you'd say, hey, I have a problem with this thing. And
Yeah.
I'd say, cool, let's play with that and see if we can move through it, you know? And, but then again, everybody has something different. So how do you create something that's going to hit the marks for everybody? That's why I'm here.
Yeah. So the book's going to be, it's going to be like a non-fiction, obviously, just a book about social anxiety or public
it's gonna
speaking. Or
that is great. You're right. It is about social anxiety, but I found out what the causes were.
okay, what were they?
The shrinks are going to kill me because it's not a disease.
Okay. Is it considered a disease?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we treat it with medication, right? If somebody's anxious, they just like have some pills.
I don't want to piss anybody off, but it seems like if you don't know what you're doing, drug somebody. It would be like this. Wouldn't it be like this if you couldn't sing, if you were a singer and you couldn't hit a high note? And I said, oh, Brett, I have a pill. You have a disease. I have a pill you're going to have to take that will just sedate you. And, but is it a disease? No, it's not. I found out that, and this will piss people off. So how do I say this without pissing people off? I found out that
You can piss people off. Don't worry about it.
Stuttering is not a disease, and I'm not out to make therapists and clinical psychologists wrong, but I'm a mechanics man. So check this out. I took the same techniques that you would take for voice. So if I were to say to you, your voice could be, as a singer or a speaker, as beautiful as anyone you've ever heard.
You're talking to the worst singer in the world right now, so good example.
But if I take you, I'm going to provide you evidence that it's, and I won't make you sing, but I'll provide you thoughtful evidence that you'll see, you'll get a sense of, my God, maybe he's stumbled upon something, right? So, what if it's a skill? So, when you see your favorite singer and you go, God, that's amazing. Must have rolled out of bed one morning and you've either got it or you don't. Just rolled out of bed, right? It's not true. It was a skill like riding a bike, like swimming, like anything, like working out. It's a skill. So we take the luck out of it and just look at it like, how do we take the luck out of it? So stuttering is a dysphonia. Dysphonia, phonia, phonograph, sound. Odd sounding. Doesn't sound like a solution, does it?
Okay.
But it sounds like you have to pay me $200 to have a session, and we'll talk about your dysphonia.
Right.
And how it feels to not be able to speak well. That must be terrible, right? And just keep coming back, and we'll talk about it. Or we can solve it. And then if you understand how the voice works, and I think that the thing that the shrinks and the therapists miss is they're not experts on human sound.
Okay.
But a singer is an expert in creating the most beautiful human sound. They have to understand how the machine works, just like a combustion engine. Fuel, air mixture, all that. They have to understand how it works, so they know how to fix it. Like, if you had a terrible voice, would you go to a therapist or would you go to a singing coach?
Singing coach, obviously.
So if you go to the singing coach is going to hear you try and hit a pitch or hear you speak. Maybe you want to be a speaker. And they will hear how you don't know how to use the voice.
All right.
And they will fix it by telling you to do certain things, mechanical things with your body.
Like changing your posture.
Changing your posture.
Yeah.
Pressurizing, grabbing air in your body, holding it.
Right.
If your voice is very wispy and you direct the sound out of your mouth. Well, they know this is an amplification system, the hollow cavities of silence.
Right.
So if we send the sound there,
Right.
now my voice sounds like this.
Good radio voice, man.
That's a radio voice, right? So what you're hearing are overtones and undertones created in the hollow spaces of my cavity. Anyway, I don't want to go on too much technique because it's boring. But you getting a sense of it?
Yeah. Okay. And you also, so how would you use that to overcome like anxiety and stuff like that, and the public speaking and stuff like that?
So we all want to be loved. We all want to be great. So we all have certain things that when we see it from ourselves or hear it from ourselves, it freaks us out. So if my voice sounds like this, because I don't know how to use my voice, then every time that I record my voice, it's going to be devastating.
All right.
So we have to fix that. So then I would show you how you're misusing it. We fix it. And now when you speak, it sounds predictably beautiful. And so that issue about, or the thought, I have an ugly voice, doesn't exist anymore because beauty comes out.
Right. Okay.
So we fix that. How do we fix the anxiety part, or what makes us nervous?
Is it not just pure? Surely, like just having a weird voice is going to make you anxious anyway.
Sure, right? It's like
So kind of fix the voice, the anxiety goes away. You become confident. Like I got a cool voice now.
it'd be like having a foot growing out of your forehead, and then all of a sudden, then it's gone.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
you don't just sound okay, you sound good, and you know how to control it.
Right.
So you're steering the boat, you're driving the car. So the anxiety about something ugly will come out. No, because you know how to fix it. So I show people how to fix it. So I got to thinking, if an ugly voice creates anxiety, then why do we get scared in front of a camera?
Right. Okay.
So I found out what causes it. So primarily, it could be a lot of things, right? But look at this. I propose the following. What if you and I were taught, we only know what we were taught. So we do what we were taught. And we may not have been taught much. So what if we were taught in school that the way to intellectual mastery is critical thinking? I remember first grade, my teacher said, if you want to be wise, be a critical thinker. And I said, what's that? Easy. You seek out all the problems. You find every problem. You correct them by removing them and replacing them with what works.
Right.
Here's what I found out, which is after testing people over and over again. There are two types of situations, right? There's high stakes and there's low stakes. So a low stakes situation is you and me hanging out. We're just shooting the shit, we're having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Just talking. Low stakes, right? High stakes. Standing at a podium. Hard lights in your eyes, you're blinded, you can't see. Microphone is amplifying your sound everywhere. Heart is racing. High stakes situations, when dealing with human beings, I propose, are emotional. 100%. So how do we survive it? Well, look at it this way. When your teacher taught you, what if when your teacher taught you use critical thinking, and you did, you went to your room, you went to the library, you went someplace, and you did your homework in your little cubicle, whatever, left alone. I'm looking for everything that's wrong. I got an A on my report.
Right.
Same strategy. You're standing on stage, the light is on you, 150 people, critical thinking, and you're going, what's wrong? What's wrong? That lady isn't smiling. How does that make me feel? Wait a minute. When I did homework during low stakes, I didn't ask myself how I felt. Why am I asking myself how I feel? But I am. How do I feel about that? Do I like it or not? I don't like it. What's happening? Anxiety just went up. I tell a joke, they didn't laugh, anxiety goes up. My voice sounds like this, anxiety goes up. I'm looking for evidence in order to succeed, just like critical thinking. And I'm a sharp guy, so I'm finding it.
Right.
But each piece of evidence shows me how wrong I am.
Yeah.
Because the evidence creates bad feelings.
Okay. Kind of like, I guess if you had like a YouTube and you do some videos and you get haters, right?
Yeah,
Then you might
right?
think, if you think about it critically, you're like, oh, I'm never going to do a video again because that guy didn't like me. Or... And a lot of people feel like that. Yeah.
It'll stop most people.
Yeah.
It'll stop most people. How'd you deal with it?
I just ignore it.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I just don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Well, that's a fabulous thing. That's a skill.
I've got too much other fucking shit to worry about than what some knobhead puts in a YouTube comment. To be honest with you, like, you know, I think anybody that's bothered about that, you're just not busy enough. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so you're taking on clients and you're teaching people how to overcome these things, right?
Yeah, with no therapy required. No
Right.
therapy.
So how do you do it? How do you do it?
So what you do is this. So I'm going to give you a book, a children's book. It could be a fiction book, anything you want to read. It could be a repair manual. I don't care. I'm going to have you read it. So you're going to read it. 9 out of 10, what you're going to do in an attempt to succeed is you're going to use critical thinking and you're going to read it to me. Big
Okay.
mistake. The reason that is because you're the feedback loop. So if the camera's on me, I'm the feedback loop. So that means that when people interact with each other, what if we don't listen to what each other says? We listen to what each other means. So if I was to say to somebody, I love you, you would go like, oh, bullshit. Or you would go, maybe. Or you would go, he does. That's true. So you want to get to the what's behind it. That's all emotional. That's all empathy and intuition. That's empathy. Those are sensual tools. Like feel your way through it. Like a guitar player plays the guitar, they feel their way through it. You don't try to remember everything. You channel it. It's all like some magic, right? Piano playing, feel your way through it. Dancers, they feel their way through it. So you feel your way through it. So what I say is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hell on earth, 10 being heaven on earth, pick a number. And you'll usually give me a low number. And I'll know it's low because I was feeling all the shitty feelings you were just feeling. And of course, if we were filming you, it would capture all those shitty feelings without you saying anything. It's all captured there. It's like the truth is there. You're locking up, anxiousness, self-loathing, whatever. So I say, okay, no harm, no foul. Let's flip it. So I say, what you did was critical thinking. What if we could flip it? So what I'm going to have you do is, instead of looking for what is wrong, I want you to train yourself to look for what is right. I want you to look in that book for illustrations that you like. Because when you find an illustration that you like, that will ring as true for you. And that will ring as positive. So instead of negative stacking, it's positive stacking. Isn't that cool? So what happens is, you find it and it gives you a feeling of relief, which is, you feel my relief the moment I feel it because you're watching me. This is how people begin to learn what public speaking is. I propose that Tony Robbins has absolutely, consciously or not, or unconsciously, like a jazz musician, like there are musicians that mechanically understand what they're doing, and then there are singers and musicians that don't. They play by feel. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. I just do it.
Yeah.
So consciously or not, he is actually inspiring, motivating, and propelling himself in an emotional situation in a positive way by exclusively seeking out with his eyes only what he likes, with his mind only what is interesting to him. He's trained himself to do this. With his body by tracking body movements.
Right.
To inspire, motivate, and propel himself. These are all truths. There's no lie in them.
Right.
So I'm stacking positive stuff. And as I do, I relax. Because I'm getting relaxed, but I'm getting excited too, because I'm excited about the good things that I'm finding. So
Okay.
there's social anxiety out the window. I propose it's What if it's not an illness? What if we're all just trying to win? So if all I know is to look for the shit, I will look for the shit, because I do it when I look for shit. When I do my homework, I get an A on my report. Surely it's going to work. I'll get an A on my public speaking. No, you won't. You'll feel shitty because it's a emotional experience. Is that cool or what? No therapy required. But I have to do it with you long enough so that you become like a jazz musician, right? So we work this experience where I have you read.
Right.
And I have you, and we work it. Scale of 1 to 10. Hell on earth, was it hell on earth would be a 1. 10 would be heaven on earth. And my objective is to get you into higher and higher numbers. So when you're not around me, when you go up on stage, when you ask for that raise, when you pitch that deal and you've got $20 in your bank account and you're calling somebody in Bahrain to try and close $1 million deal to save your business, you can authentically be inspired, motivated, and propelled instead of being freaked out.
Right.
This is the greatest shit on the planet, I'm telling you. Nobody's done this.
Right.
It's a mechanical means to move yourself into pleasure authentically. And then once we've moved you into it, then we build it. So my guess would be if Tony Robbins has a scale, he's got to start. I've watched him do it at TEDx. Watch the video, Why We Do What We Do. I know that he doesn't know exactly what he's doing because it took him 10 minutes to get totally into his groove.
Right.
Because one hand's in his pocket when he starts it. That's a tell.
Right, okay.
If he knew what he was doing, the hand would never be in the pocket because that is something to hide. So if he knows that, he would go into activities. So what I train you to do is activities which authentically are yours, which authentically work for you, and authentically inspire, motivate, and propel. So I want to get you to 7s and 8s. Tony probably started on that video in a 7, but he moved right into a 10 because he's a monster, right? He's Tony friggin' Robbins. He's amazing, right? But imagine if he knew what he was doing, he could genuinely, without freaking us out, move into his level of fee, fi, fo, fum, I'm the giant, without intimidating us, and just start off as in a 9.
Right. Okay. So this is how you scale it from like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Of like where you are feeling like on a confidence level, right?
Yeah. I would call that like the invisible thread to the divine, like a Buddhist monk. It's like when you meditate, when you focus on a candle, 10,000 people could be staring at you, but you're connected to something.
It's called, like, sometimes people refer to it as like being in flow, right?
Yes.
Kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
I feel like even if like you're doing like some work online and you're just dead focused on what you're doing and the time just like flies past, like.
You do it all the time.
Yeah.
I watch you do it all the time, sincerely, in your videos. You're a jazz musician. You may not know how you do it, but you do it. You get into a valuable state. Like, what's valuable to Brett? You know what I mean? And so you're looking for those jewels, and then you run with them. You're inspiring yourself, and you're stacking these good feelings. It's like, and then before you know it, wow, an hour's gone by, and it's been legit, and it's been fun and interesting.
Yeah, it is all about emotion and feel, I think. Because there's been times when I've recorded some YouTube videos and sat down and spoke for like 5 minutes and then just gone, fuck that. Like, I'm just in a bad place, do you know what I mean? You just don't feel in a good mood.
Yeah.
You know, it comes across and you're just like, I don't want to put something out there where I'm not in a good mood. Do you get what I mean? Sort of thing.
Brilliant.
So,
well, that's trusting your gut, right? So you knew that camera's going to, no matter how you smile, no matter how much sparkle you put in your eye.
Oh, you can try and fake it, but
Yeah, right.
everybody can see you trying to fake it.
It's
right?
a lie.
Yeah.
All the camera's going to capture is your smiles through darkness, coming right through it.
Exactly. And people can subconsciously read other people, right? So easily. They don't even know they're doing it, but the brain does it.
We're too good.
Yeah.
All those false cues, they don't work anymore. We can't do it, like the smile and the stupid joke and all that. We really have to. The only way we can pull it off and play it these days, because the field of competition, you got guys like Tony out there. Tony is so true, right? I propose this. Think about it. See if this little mathematical equation that I came up with in my head holds true. What if Tony is closing Tony? Like, let's say there's 5,000 people in the room. I propose that what I'm witnessing, that TEDx video, for example, why we do what we do. Watch him. After 10 minutes into it, he's God. and it says eating out of their hands. He's got, you know, the former potential presidents of the United States playing with him, jabbing at the audience. I propose that what Tony is doing is, you feel it when he's free of cultural restraint. And it's his own taste and his own sense of boundaries, right? That we like that. He just pushes it a little bit and comes back on it a little bit. And he's closing Tony. So he's using himself as the feedback loop. So
Right.
instead of me trying to get to you, and I know you're feeling me out, is it true, is it fake, is it whatever, because that's what we do. No worries, do it. So what I'm going to do is I need to go after me, because it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to find out what inspires, motivates, and propels Guy than 500 people in the audience. The skinny guy, the fat lady, the angry man, the teenager, the adult, the grandpa.
Right.
You know, it's like, I'm going to control those people.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I guess if you're doing anything in public, whether it's public speaking or putting videos online and stuff, it's very easy to kind of be like, I've got to please everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
But it's actually impossible.
We're
Right.
community. We are communal animals, aren't we? It's like, in all kindness, isn't that fair for us to want to hold ourselves to that standard? Because don't we consciously know we need each other to survive? I need your help. You need my help. The bakery down the road, we need her lovely food. So we've got that going on. So it's like, I'm going to try and serve you. But how is that even possible, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it at you. I'm going to read my story to you. I'm going to pitch you. How do I know if it's any good?
Because that'll be like it's kind of wired in our DNA, right? So before, we never had like YouTube, for example, where we could put this, or the podcasting platforms where we could put this up to like thousands of people. Instead, you would never really get an audience of thousands of people. Throughout history, you'd always be dealing with kind of like a couple of people or a few people at max, unless you're like a town mayor or something. But do you get what I'm saying? Like up on a podium giving a speech, but that'd be very rare, right? So we've never really had to consider these things which kind of make us anxious today. I guess it's kind of like the whole issue with social media, right? So people getting anxious over social media, what people think about them, because there's so many eyeballs on them, which were never on them before. Am I right there in saying that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it all comes back to, a lot of the craziness, maybe a lot of craziness in the West that we're witnessing a lot of people who are trying to run to a group or a clan. So instead of sharing they're part of a particular group and sharing their unique idea, they might choose to share, well, what did I hear the group say? I'm going to say that. That way I will not be cast out from my group. My group is my everything. My group is my survival. So what are they saying this week? Okay, I'll say that. And of course, we all know how dangerous that is, right? That's so dangerous, because what do you truly feel? Are you telling us what your experience is, or what you're supposed to say, right? So with all kindness, we need each other. And so I have all the room in the world for all of that. And if you're trying to close somebody on the phone, there's no group there. And if you're standing on stage, there's no group there. And you would know this one piece perfectly. When you're staring into a camera, you are courted with all the love and tenderness and feedback of a piece of glass, some aluminum, and some plastic staring at you.
That's true, right?
Just like that, right? It's like, where's your inspiration? So
Right.
you have to go within. You have to get connected to something. I call that, make up your own version for it, but it is a divine connection. It's kind of a shamanic thing. Otherwise, we're alone. We have our doubts and our fear, and we're human. But get that divine connection, and we are immortal. Right? It's like, I have faith. Where's he getting his faith?
Yeah.
He's staring at a camera. Where's he getting his faith?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
On that stage, like Tony's doing, dude, he can't see anybody. You imagine? If people have never done a TEDx event, and I've helped people at the events, and what they do is they say, here's the red dot, and there's that red circle always. Don't leave the red dot.
All right.
What did Tony do? Left the red dot. He's going from one end of the stage to the other. So they better unlock those cameras because he's walking he's pacing, giving himself freedom of movement and control. So they say don't leave it. And so when you're standing there, it's just the whitest light. You can't see anything. Thank God the monitors are at the side for your stuff because you could see that. But the audience, they're all just black shadows.
Right. Okay.
Where's your support? And you're up in the air, right? They're down beneath you, right?
Right. Okay.
You're all alone.
Right.
So we have to build our faith, build our confidence for real. We have to establish that connection and then continuously work on building it. So it's true.
Interesting. So you've done, like you say, you've helped people at TEDx and stuff like that. I was going to ask you, what other clients and stuff are you working with? What type of people are you teaching this stuff to? I mean, we spoke before off camera, and you was talking about you work with the what's the guy from The Secret movie?
Oh, Joe Vitale, Dr. Joe Vitale, one of my students.
Yeah.
Not for public speaking, but for singing.
Singing. Oh, okay.
He had a dream. Joe's an amazing man. An absolutely inspirational guy, and there's nothing that will flatter you more than your doorbell rings and there's Dr. Joe Vitale and you open your door to your condo and there behind him is a brand new Bentley 4-door. That's going to impress you. Then he comes next week and then it's a brand new Dutch race car. Then next week he shows up and it's an electric car. I'm like, that's flattering, right? When somebody that successful comes and see you. And so it's an honor to work with Joe.
Yeah.
And in the same way that it would work with everyone else. And basically it's just destroying doubt. But you have to do it for real. I think that everybody who's starting out, you're going to fake it until you make it, right? But hopefully what happens is whatever formula you were given, don't just metaphorically be a shoe salesman. Become a custom shoe cobbler. Everybody's different. What kind of material you're going to work with? How's it going to fit their foot? Invent your own thing by getting curious and getting interested. And that way, people are going to show up with different stuff, and you're going to be able to uniquely help them.
Yeah, that's a big problem with people as well. A lot of people just imitate other people, right? They're always scared to go and do their own thing, right? Always fine.
But the fun, it is. And it's and you know this personally. I would invite people to question. We were talking about inquiry-based thinking. Like when I work with at-risk youth, and when I'm working with this work, I get people outside of their dynamic box. That's what we know, which is nothing wrong with it. Hang on to it, but you get them out of the dynamic box by asking questions. Instead of having to know the answer, which is a conclusionary-based format, which we learn in school, what's the answer? It's on page 35. Whew, thank God. Right. Memorize it. But how does that get you through life? Doesn't. And how does it, in a field of competition, how does it make you stand out? So we got to stand out. So you have to become the Thomas Edison. You have to become the Steve Jobs. You have to ask about relevancy. What is needed? What is wanted? What is desired? As opposed to, how do I fix this? I don't know. Take a pill.
Right.
You go, how do I fix this? I don't know. What would it take? What would it take? And you be open to something showing up. And you experiment. Like the filament for the light bulb. Isn't that an amazing story? God knows how many filaments they went through.
Yeah.
You know, one of the stories I heard, which is really great about the filament, correct me if I'm wrong, and your audience can go on YouTube to check it out. There's a firehouse where the fire engines come on in New York City that has a bulb screwed into the original socket from when Edison was around, and it never burned out.
Oh, really?
So my point is this. Is it possible to find the perfect filament where there's no obsolescence? But that would destroy you. Because it has to burn out, because the whole point is they have to buy more bulbs, or you're going to have to lease people bulbs.
All right.
So I'm sorry you didn't make your payment. I have to take the bulb. So they found an easier way, a filament that burns up.
Right.
So they last. What is that? What does a filament last in the old bulbs? Maybe like 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Right.
Out of a bulb.
You can
And
still
then
buy
there's
those Edison bulbs.
Is that?
You can still buy those Edison bulbs. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're the same or if they just kind of look similar
Yeah.
or whatever. I had a couple in my old house actually. Yeah, I went and bought them. They look nice. They look better than the normal ones, right?
I know, right? Well, the thing is the dimming. Got to be able to dim, and you got to have that warm color.
Yeah. Like I used to have this office down in Neimanhaven, and they had them all in there. And then I was like, oh, these are awesome. So I went and like bought them for my whole fucking house. But they're expensive, man. There's a place down just south of the moat, and it's like a lighting shop in Chiang Mai, and it just sells like every type of possible light you could imagine. It's like a light warehouse. It's crazy, man. Like people don't know that. People just think like if you come and live here, it's gonna be really hard to find stuff. They have like everything.
Everything
man.
is here.
Everything you could possibly
I'm
need.
here to tell people when they come here, everything is here. And if you don't know, ask a nomad.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Just like that, it's like, where can I get an Edison bulb? Like back at home, you would never be able to find one in England. You have to get it on eBay from some like weird guy down south of the country or something who ships them. Here it's just like, just go to the massive light shop. You know, where can I get this obscure thing? Well, they've got a whole shop for that as well. Like, I always say to people like living in Thailand, it's kind of like, especially if you go into like the malls, if you've ever been to like a MBK or anything in Bangkok, it's like walking into like a real world eBay. Like it's like walking. It's like if you could jump in your computer and just run around eBay, where you can just get anything you want. That's kind of what it's like, right?
Yeah, it's really astounding, you know. And it's like I keep looking for things. When I came here, it's like, you know, it's way north in Thailand, close to China, and you've got China, got Cambodia, you've got Myanmar. We're in the back of beyond, right? It's going to be hard to get things. It's like if you look, it's here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I love it here, man. I love that it's just so convenient. That's like one of the main things I always say to people. It's just the convenience is so easy. Like, are you finding that having been here?
I'm totally finding that.
Yeah.
I find that this is a country for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it is not a safe space.
Very sadly.
However, if you talk to the nomads, what they will tell you, and you will find it hard to believe, me coming here a short period of time ago, because you have to take it at their word. Everyone's just, what's the word? Kind of like glowing, you know, about Chiang Mai, the magic of Chiang Mai, right? Blushing about it. And it's like, when's the other shoe going to drop, right? Where's the truth of all this, you know? But the thing is it's a place for grown-ups, meaning if there's a pack of foaming mouthed dogs at the end of the street, don't walk to the end of the street, right? If there is a questionable second floor on a building, ask the question before you decide to walk across it. If you see an open well, assume that it could be bottomless. Don't walk near it.
Yeah.
You have to use your wits.
Yeah.
You know, use your wits.
It's like freedom, though, right? That's what I like about it.
Freedom. Maybe that's why it's called free land.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I think it was your friend who said what it was called. It was like Thai means free. Thai
really?
land.
Oh.
He said, I could be wrong because it's second-hand people. So
Right. Okay. Land of the free.
he said,
I thought you're from the land of the free.
Land of the free.
Right.
And I'm experiencing a lot of freedom here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for us Westerners, the financial pressure is so massive back home.
You get freedom in a lot of ways here, right? Not just you get financial, and then obviously just like physical freedom as well. Like, I like the fact that like it's more dangerous, but I like that you can sit in the back of a pickup truck and ride down the highway if I want to. Do you get what I mean?
I totally love it.
Like, I don't like that I have to wear a seatbelt where I'm like someone's going to pull my car over, look inside my car where I'm sitting and say, put that strap across your chest, like, because I'm telling you to.
I have to search you for drugs now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fuck off, man. Just let me do what I want. Do you know what I mean? Not hurting anyone.
Totally true. It's totally true. How about the traffic that figures itself out?
Well, here, yeah.
How's that? I don't think a lot of people can relate to that. It's like, you guys will work it out. A roundabout, there's no lights. It's like, just use your eyes, man. You know, it's like, if there's a car coming, it's like, slow down.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on roundabouts, man. Like, nobody in Thailand, for one, really knows how to drive. Like, hardly anybody's got a license, and they literally just figure it out, right?
It's good for our minds, our Western minds, though, right? Keeps you alert, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You don't assume anything when you get out on the road, do you?
You can't.
You can't like drift off.
I would love to make a video. I was going to make a video called "How to Survive the Roads in Thailand," and just give some little tips and stuff, because you need to know these things, man.
It's so true, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like your uncle. If your uncle owned the roads, it's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's like, you ever see like sometimes you see like little kids riding around on motorbikes as well, right? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen. How young?
Dude, I'll be walking down the street, there'll be like an 11-year-old just like "Wah," on a motorbike with like two of his mates all laughing and skirting all over the streets and stuff, like fucking crazy.
I
man.
love how there are laws here, but they're optional for Thai people, like the helmet laws, right? And then the cops will set up a little stop area to check for ID. Usually it's like in front of Maya Mall or some major drag, right? It's not the obscure areas back of Beyond over here by the mountain, but it's over, right? And they'll set it up, and they always set up in the same place on Sunday. And here come all these kids, no helmets on, 3 people on the seat.
Yeah, and they're just like, get off. But yeah, you'll never get anything like that outside of the city. The only thing you will get a lot outside the city. There's a lot of I don't know if you've been on a bus outside of here to like.
Not yet.
The buses always stop off at military checkpoints, but it's all for drugs, because we're like in a big. I think my friend said it's like Golden Triangle, isn't it? I don't know where the Golden Triangle.
Is that where we are? Is this like it's
we're right near it?
This is where you're gonna come through.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of drug smuggling around these areas. Apparently, I don't know where the Golden Triangle is, but I know it's kind of around here. And my friend said Chiang Mai's right near it, or in it, or something.
Dude, you got Cambodia's right over there.
Yeah.
Myanmar's right over here.
Yeah, so they're all like smuggling drugs down through the north.
In northern China.
Yeah, and the police, you'll get those roadblocks, but you won't ever get any roadblocks for like helmet checks or licenses. I'll tell you a funny thing about those roadblocks as well is if you go through them, like the roadblocks they set up in Chiang Mai, they're kind of like, they'll set one for drunk driving. And if you go through a drunk driving one with no license, no helmet, but you're not drunk, they don't care.
I love it.
But if it's a helmet check, right, and you haven't got a helmet, you have to pay a fine for not having a helmet. But if you've got no license, they don't care. Right? So it's like each roadblock is for a specific thing,
so funny.
Which is just the weirdest thing ever, man. I guess, like, well, if it was like a helmet check stop or something and you went through it drunk, like, obviously they've got nothing there on them to breathalyze you, right? So they can't check. But,
Right.
but I think if you were staggering and falling off your bike, they'd probably still bust you for being drunk. But another thing, a chick told me once when I first got here about the police. She said, the police can't pull you over. Apparently it's illegal for the police here to pull you over.
Man.
Apparently.
Wow.
They can only do it at the stop. But I'm not sure. I don't know, because when I first came here, I didn't have a helmet on my bike, and I had this girl in the back, and I saw the police, and I was like, oh, it's a cop there. Like, she's like, don't worry, he can't stop you. It's illegal for him to stop you. You have to go through a checkpoint. Now, that might be untrue. I don't know. But I've never, ever seen a policeman stop anybody in the 4 years I've been here. Never once. Except on a checkpoint.
I tell you, I love this place. The thing that'll blow Westerners' minds the most, I think, is no credit check. They won't understand that. Like, you want to rent an apartment.
Oh, right, okay.
You want to rent an apartment. It's like, right? I'm sure it's the same in the UK as it is in the States. If you ever screw up anywhere in the United States, where you blow your rental agreement, that is nationwide. So I don't care if you screw up in California, you drive all the way take a bus all the way to Florida, Central Florida, Miami, and you try and rent, they'll go right in that national database. I'm sorry, you're a credit risk. You're homeless.
Police state, man. Because everyone's plugged into the machine, aren't they, basically?
God, it's so true, man. It's like, you know what's really the thing that freaked me out? It's the whole 1984, the movie,
George
or Brazil. Maybe Brazil is even a better example, right? Brazil, the guy works in a little cubicle, and they had a desk set up with a separator, and they would fight each day by dragging this desk, like they had to share it.
All right.
So the other guy he needed more room for his papers, so he'd pull the desk, and he'd watch his desk be a foot wide.
And then push the separator.
Yeah, right, and then he pushed and the separator just stays there. So this guy would have to fight for his little piece of real estate on the desk, right? His little piece of desk. Life gets really small, and really tiny. And I come here, and it's like, first, last, and security, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
They do take
and your passport information, you're good.
They do take a deposit.
Welcome to Thailand.
There's actually been a law passed recently to protect people that are renting, and there's a few stipulations in it. One is they can't. This law passed in March, but no one's abiding by it, so it's kind of useless. But even then, it's that they can't charge you more than government rate for electric. They can't charge you more than 1 month's rent up front for a deposit. If you leave, you don't have to give any notice to leave a condo. Like all these really cool rules. If they only applied it, it would be better. But
be heaven.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's only for landlords that have more than 5 properties. So any condo it would apply to. But if you, I mean, I when I moved, because people, if you watch my videos on YouTube, I've recently moved back in here, but before I moved to a condo, and when I moved in there, like they were trying to like charge me more for the electric, and I was like, that's illegal, you can't do that. But they didn't give a fuck. So.
And they did it anyway.
Yeah, because like I say, it's a law, but it's going to take a while, I think, to come into practice. Some people are going to have to get done for it, and.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would warn anyone that's coming out here, check with the nomads, and find out the integrity of a place. Like the place I live in. You used to live there, and I asked you about it, and you said they're pretty square, they're pretty straight up, they don't play games. Because I heard a story of a couple of kids that, and this may be the one issue, so I'm not saying like it's out there. But still, this is scary. So they rented an expensive place in off of the main drag. Well, actually, it's middle of the road. I'd say it was like $550 a month for a place
US
in the city, US, right? Which is for one of the swankier apartments, right?
In Chiang Mai, yeah.
In Chiang Mai, right? So. Make a long story short, they got charged. They got hit with $350 US electric bill at the end of the month on top of the rent.
How big was the place?
It was your typical 32 to 40 square meter apartment.
Oh, really? It wasn't like a house? Wow.
The building will remain nameless.
We don't need defamation.
It has come under new ownership, and. Check the notes from the tenants. Make sure there's people. The referral. What do you call it? Reviews. Check those reviews, because type in the name of a particular place you're thinking of going to in the nomad Facebook groups and see if there's any angry venting going on it.
Even check from the Thais, man. I mean, there's no excuse really to kind of get fucked over nowadays with the amount of reviews on these platforms. Even if you Google anything, you get Google reviews, right?
Sure.
And if most of them are going to be in Thai, but just have your browser translate it to English, and you can kind of work out what they're saying. And there's a star rating on there, like 1 to 5 stars. If you move into a place that's got like 500 reviews and it's all 1 stars, you deserve to get fucked. Do you get what I mean? Like, you should check that shit before. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, with the electric, mate, again, there's just so much stuff that people should check before they're moving in that they need to know about. I might put an article together on this, actually, put it on the website. I've got this new website now, it's called Ask Chiang Mai. I don't know if I told you about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of like where I've got these videos on YouTube, we're now putting it on a blog as well.
Nice.
So there's some really good articles on there. We've got like 50 already written. But for stuff like that, kind of boring stuff that I don't really want to make a video about.
Sure.
Like, I guess you could make a video about it, but it's better presented in a post format.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And people need to know about that there's an alternative to these 6-month and 1-year leases.
Yeah, how long is yours?
3
months. Okay.
3 months,
Yeah.
And it's the price is fabulous. It's not a glass and steel and tricked out apartment, but it's massive 1 bedroom, massive living room, and a patio on the 4th floor. When I saw a video of you with a friend, and they were up in the air, and they had this huge patio situation where he had his hammock set up, and I said, "Oh, I gotta find that."
Right.
You know, so it's fortunate.
Which video was that?
I don't remember which one that was, but I definitely remember a video you made where you shot an image of the place that I'm at, and but it was just an image of it, and I was like, I saw those huge balconies. I'm like, whoa, what is this? This thing looks like a luxury liner with all these little front decks.
Yeah.
You know, which apartments are those with the front deck coming off of them, right?
Yeah.
And timing's everything, and I was there, and they happened to have one, and so I jumped on it.
Yeah, they go pretty quick in that place as well, man. I remember I tried to get one of the big balcony ones, and just down the street where I stayed just before moving in here, again, I tried to get a big balcony one, but people snap them up right away, man. And the people that get those places tend to stay there for ages, you know, because there's not that many. Like
you said, I was concerned, and I asked you, I said, you know, it's a 3-month lease. I mean, will they try and, you know, what? I have a 3-month lease, so, and right now somebody's on the phone and says, I'll rent it on the 4th month, and you said, no. They're not going to try and push you out, man. They want you to stay there forever.
Yeah, it's competitive here, mate. You see how many condos there is everywhere. Like, they've always got spaces generally. It's like I say, those big ones get snapped up. They'll always have a space somewhere for somebody else. And they would never, I've never ever known anybody's kind of, I mean, unless you were kind of like renting like a house from somebody and like they want to move back in it, they might kick you out. But in the condos, you'll never ever get kicked out. That was weird when you said that to me. Like in the US, they'll kick you out of your place or something.
Sure. Right? You have a 3-month, if you have, you know.
Why would they do that? Would they not want you in there to keep paying?
It's like, it would depend where it is, and it would depend how popular the area is. Perfect example would be Venice Beach, California.
Right, so they can kick you out, and then they can jack the price up, and then they know, because they're probably getting calls, right? Like, is that place free?
Every day.
It's going to be free in 2 weeks. I'll give you. This guy's paying me $800. Well, I'll give you $1,000, and as soon as your place runs out,
dude, they're on drugs. I have a relative who lives in Venice Beach. Who was quite proud that he lived in a sweet old turn-of-the-century house. Doors stick, plumbing is mediocre, electrics mediocre, and he's paying $6,500 US. He said the landlord wanted $8,000, talked him down to $6,500 US. Wrap your head around that one.
Is that on Venice Beach? Yeah.
That is 13 blocks from the beach. So that would work out if you had a bicycle. He is where it says, "Welcome to Venice Beach," with all the graffitied palm trees. It is a casual 10-minute bicycle ride to the sand.
Okay. So it's probably the distance that we're at from the old city, right?
And yeah, but closer. No, it's a lot closer than that. I would say a lot closer than that. You're not working hard in that bicycle ride. Okay. So it's like, you know, and if you get closer, every block you get closer, guess what happens to the sand? Guess what happens to the prices?
All right.
Keep going up a grand, up a grand, up a grand, up a grand, till you get to the sand.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're dumps, they're bunkers. They are nothing to write home about. They are not gorgeous. Make a long story short, you know, $6,500 a month. If you had that kind of money, dude, you could rent a ranch with hundreds of acres for horses and outbuildings and.
Yeah. So what's the appeal? I don't get that. I don't get why people are paying so much money in the US or even in the UK, really. I mean, I get it, like, if you want to live in London because you've got a job in the middle of the city or something like that and you earn good money or whatever. Is it the same? Do you want to live near Venice Beach for that reason? Yeah. Is that the same appeal? Or?
That's the exact same bill, because it's not that Venice is cool and Santa Monica Beach is cool.
I'm sure like people aren't paying that money because they're like, oh, I just want to live where the movie was shot. You know?
No. It's like London, right?
Right.
There are a certain type of people that live around you. So the people who live around you, well, they're all spending the same amount of money. So they have a lot of money. So if you're going to do business with a lot of like-minded people, you know, the Venice Beach scene, a lot of younger aggressive business people living there, and you're going to hook up with them. So if you want to have a lunch meeting, if you tell them you live in Venice Beach, they're going to be impressed as hell. It'd be like being in Beverly Hills and only your address is on one of the most famous streets. They're like, holy God, this person's doing well.
Right, so the people are, and I guess you get people that live down there, like the aspiring actors, and whenever I think of California, I just think like people go there to be actors. That's it.
They do.
Like, I guess there's other stuff that goes on there, but
well, you're right. I worked at the movie studios many years ago. I wanted to find out about it, and I wanted to know what the magic was about, what the scene was like, and so I've worked at Warner Brothers and Universal Studios and Walt Disney Studios, and to see what the culture was like and what is this all about, and is it fabulous, and is it for me, and do I want it, and all that. So yeah, the whole country goes to Hollywood, right? To find out where Hollywood is. But Hollywood's not in Hollywood. Hollywood is in the San Fernando Valley,
right,
which is in Burbank. Hollywood is Burbank, actually.
Where's that in comparison?
So basically, you've got Hollywood is the town called Hollywood with the Walk of Fame, all those stars like the Trump star that they chopped all up. So they have all those stars on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, that's down here. So you have to go over the hill to the San Fernando Valley over here to Burbank. And on the other side of this little mountain are all the movie studios, Universal Studios and Disney Studios and Warner Brothers tucked up against it and whatnot. And that's where the movie studios are. So they're in the valley, so the San Fernando Valley. So you have Hollywood here, San Fernando Valley on the other side of the mountain, and then you've got Venice Beach and Santa Monica down here.
Okay, and where's the you hear people refer to the valley. Is that the same valley
That's
referring
the valley.
to? Like you hear like tech people referring to the valley.
The valley,
Okay.
San Fernando Valley.
So that's expensive to live there, right?
Everything's expensive. There are things that are preferred where if you live there, it means you're successful. And so probably the same thing in London, but I certainly can speak for LA. Where you live, your address, defines how well you're doing in business.
That's weird, isn't it? How people define their success, like by the type of job they've got or who they're hanging around with. For me, like success would be just being able to do what I want to do.
Well, you hit it on the head. That's why I'm here, brother.
So for me, the ultimate success is working online and making money online because it just gives you freedom. You're not answering to anybody. You're your own boss.
We scheduled this with ease.
Yeah.
We don't have a gun to our head.
Do it today, tomorrow, up to you.
I pedaled the bike down the road to come over here. It's like, well, this is the thing that broke my heart about LA. So I went to the film industry. I wanted to be a part of it. Obviously, I became a voice coach because I was trained in voice, which was I was a singer. And I was in musical theater. And the biggest thing I ever did was Sweeney Todd at the Kennedy Center, which is a musical, very famous musical, at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
Is that the Barber, right?
Biggest thing I did. That's the Barber.
Right.
Love Sweeney. Gotta love
I've
Sweeney.
never seen it. There's a movie. Who played the movie?
Johnny did.
Johnny
It broke
Depp.
my heart.
Was it shit?
I love Johnny Depp.
Right.
But you don't go... Okay, here's the deal about movie musicals. I'm going to swing back in this conversation, but I'm just going to put a little Post-it note on this one. Okay. A musical is released every 3 months on Broadway, and most of them tank. But when you have musicals like The Sound of Music, Annie, Grease, you have to understand that they workshopped these musicals long before they made it to Broadway. So they got them magnificent. So the thing with musicals are, the energy is up on musicals. So it's big. So Grease, like John Travolta movie,
Yeah.
the energy is all, right? So that's big. Well, guess what? Sweeney is dark as hell in a big way. So what mistake did they make for the movie musical, which they didn't make for the movie Grease with John Travolta? They made it big. They honored the format. It's a ridiculous, over-the-top experience. It's not real life.
All right.
Sweeney Todd is a ridiculous, over-the-top experience. It is not real life. So what did they do with Johnny Depp? They brought a cast of the most amazing actors that walked the face of the earth. And what did they ask them to do? They asked them to bring it all the way down to a calm, insignificant level. I will kill them. I hate them forever. I hate them. I will kill them. It's like, you don't hate anybody. Right?
Right.
The music goes, I will kill him. I hate him. And if they would have honored that, I think that the movie musical would have been a success. So back to where people live.
I'll check the movie. Is it worth checking the movie out or not?
You have to do a comparison. So watch movie musicals that work. There's only a handful that do.
I've seen Grease.
Grease, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. West Side Story, Natalie Wood, whatever. They honored what was discovered that could sell the musical on stage in front of an audience. They recreated it. And it worked. So don't get creative and think, oh, you know what? And think that these people, the people that created Sweeney Todd, Stephen Sondheim, and all these amazing people, don't think they tried bringing it down and bringing it down.
Beforehand.
No one liked it. Because it has to succeed. It's not like, well, maybe they'll like it. At $65 a seat to $250 a seat on Broadway, they have to like it.
Yeah. Some egomaniac producing the film, obviously.
I know what I'm doing. Here's the thing that broke my heart about Hollywood. So I went to Hollywood. And what I found out was, and everyone finds this out, there's a handful of people that control everything. And the worst thing about it, that's why if you want to be a performance artist, I highly recommend you become a musician. Because if you're going to be an actor, it's subjective craft. That means no matter how good you are, a guy is going to compare you. Let's say you're fabulous, and 5 other guys come in, or gals, and they're fabulous. So it's that person's whim who's going to decide whether or not you're getting the job. It's subjective. It's not just that you're good or like what you do. You build a fan base, right? It's like, screw it. I'm building a fan base. You start putting out videos. The videos get better and better. We like the videos. We start watching them. We start subscribing. We vote with our likes and our subscriptions, right? So as an independent, you can have, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 20,000. Sky's the limit who watch something you created, right? But in a subjective reality like Hollywood, handful of guys or gals, you come in, you read for something, and they will determine whether or not they want you. The problem is you're so not unique because the script is going to be the way you say it is going to be the same as everyone else is going to say it. So you can see where this is going.
Right.
Not too great. But so the bottom line heartbreaker for Hollywood is, sorry for the long roundabout, is that the thing that broke my heart about Hollywood, and I think it's true for a lot of people, is that what people think about you is everything. So it's not what you are, it's not what you bring to the party, it's not what's under the hood. It's not your heart, your passion, your divine connection, your ability to solve problems. The energy in that town is about, well, everybody's driving a black Jeep Wrangler with black tinted windows and black rims. I will drive a black Jeep Wrangler with black tinted rims. I will dress like a cast member from The Matrix. And hopefully people will think I'm cool. I will live in an expensive neighborhood. What do I have to bring to the party? I find most people haven't developed that. So I would recommend what you're doing, which is find a way, if you can, to step outside of the craziness. Calm your life down. Slow it down. Ask yourself some questions. What would I create that would inspire, motivate, and propel myself? What would I love? What really might give me the ability to jump out of bed in the morning and say, this is a great day. You may not know what it is, and that's all right. But you start the process, right? Mm. It's like you created your first videos. You weren't sure how you wanted to do them, but you experimented and you structured it, right? And they showed up.
How'd you get people to think like that? That's a tough thing, right? Because people are so conditioned, right?
We're so conditioned. So what I do is I tell people, this is the scientific method. The scientific method doesn't care about mood or feelings. The scientific method rocks. And the scientific method is you have to do what wizards do. The highest paid men and women on the planet can see in the dark and forecast where everything is going. How the hell do they do that? Intuition, gut feeling, divine connection. That's how they do it. So you have to ask questions. So we go from break the habit of I've got X number of years of knowing what I know and helping you, providing a service by what I have memorized. Someone else figured something out and I'll just do what they did. Become one of the people who figures that out and you'll become indispensable. And we start this way. We ask questions. Instead of making a statement that ends with a period, make a statement that ends with a question mark. What would it take to do that? What is required to do that? If time and money were not a consideration, where would I see myself in 5 years?
It's like find your why, right?
Find your why. That is it. Everybody that I've spoken to who are really impressive people, they all said a version of find your why. Joe Vitale is a perfect example of that. One of the most impressive men I've ever met. He's written, I don't know how many books he's written right now. When we were working together, he had finished 56 books. And I'm not talking about a 40-page paperback self-published. I'm talking about a righteous 225 to 250 pages hardbacks.
All right. If he's ever in town, let me know. I'll get him on the podcast.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I always find like I don't know. I've never really been a victim of like social conditioning. Really, like I just kind of always want to do my own thing.
Fortunate man.
Well, I always think this is what I think. I think, look, you're going to be dead pretty soon. Like sometimes I say to people, they laugh and think I'm joking, but I'm not.
No,
I'm
you're
like,
not.
dude, you're going to fucking die. Yeah, like so. So when you're talking about going to Hollywood and trying to like impress somebody, or even like getting a job and trying to get somebody to hire you and all that, man. Like even, and I take this approach with my clients. Like when I'm like reaching out to clients, I'm just like as real as possible. Like I'm just my fucking self. And people say like, oh, how does that work and all that? And I'm like, dude, listen, like I'm gonna be dead pretty fucking soon. If it doesn't work, couldn't give a fuck, right? Because you've got like 30, 40 years left if you're lucky. Like
if you're lucky.
As if you're gonna fucking spend that time. You can't come back. You can't be like, oh, don't worry, I'll just try and impress everyone this time, and if that doesn't work, I'll come back and just be myself next time. Dude, you've only got like one go, so like, don't fucking waste it. Trying to mold to other people, man.
How do you get over? How do you avoid? You may have never experienced it. How do you avoid? What advice would you give to people for getting over? It has to be perfect. It has to be just right. The perfect gear, the perfect everything.
What, like perfectionism?
Yeah, like finding reasons to not do it because you like want to know that it's a good idea or it's perfect before you begin the thing.
I think it depends where you come at it from, right? So are you trying to make it perfect because you're worried about other people thinking it's perfect, or are you trying to make it perfect for yourself because you have your own standards?
Wow. Well, you could answer that in both directions because those are usually the two demons.
Yeah,
right there.
Because I'm a victim of that as well. Like I try and get things perfect, but it's not really because I give a shit what anybody else thinks. It's more for my own standards, right? But I think that just comes with time, and I think you just have to realize that, like, and I think it's like the more things you do, the more experience people get. Like you start to realize, like, you can spend all the time in the world trying to perfect something, right. And then you launch it and it's just fucking shit, or it works, or you do something, you don't spend hardly any time preparing something, you launch it and it works. Do you get what I mean? Like you can't, it's so, trying to perfect something ahead of time, what happens after you've finished it, it's so variable and like has so much scope to it, you could never predict that outcome. Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
Right?
Like breadcrumbs following breadcrumbs through the Black Forest.
Yeah.
How are you going to know where you're going to wind up?
Exactly. So I always just think the best thing is speed. Like just get things done as quickly as you can. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's not perfect.
That's what saves me.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the shortest distance to get this done? Like, should I build a website and I don't know how to build a website, or should I build a Facebook group?
Exactly.
Like Facebook group. No one's Facebook group is going to be sexier than your Facebook group.
I actually always do this with my clients, right? So whenever I take on like marketing clients, a lot of them will come to me and they first start by coming to me telling me what they need, and I'm like, why do you think you need that? You know, and they'll always think, because they're going after the perfectionist route, like, I need the perfect branding, and they go and get a designer. I need a perfect website, and they're coming to me, hiring me as a digital marketer, and my whole strategy is I need to test your concept as fast as fucking possible. I won't even build your website. Dude, you don't even need a site. If we can do it with a Facebook page, we'll do it with a Facebook page, because you need to just test as quickly as possible, right? And another example of this is, and I'm not saying this to pitch my course or anything, but I have an online course, right?
No, but if you do have a solution, people need to know.
Well, it's irrelevant. It's just like to illustrate a point. But I have an online course and I was getting so frustrated trying to perfect the flow of creating this course. And I wrote a script for it, and I did all this. And in the end, I was trying to read off a script, and I was like, that doesn't sound natural. And then I tried to do it. And then in the end, I was like, fuck it. I just want to make it. I'm just going to wing it. And it took me like, I didn't even use a proper mic. I just used a built-in mic from my Mac, right? And I recorded this course in like 2 weeks, launched it, it's on Udemy. Dude, the thing's got like dozens of reviews, over 1,000 students, and 4.5 stars. Like, so all the worrying about the perfectionism was total pointless, right? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I could have spent months doing that, and it still did well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you never gonna know, like, what happens after you launch is totally, you're not gonna know that shit. So you should just do it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Good friends of mine have saved me by saying, the greatest learning device you're ever going to find is by screwing up.
Yeah.
So if you want to know how to do it right, just do it.
Yeah.
And then if nobody clicks on it, you'll fix it.
Exactly. Fix it as you need to fix it. That's the thing. Fix the problems as they come. Improve on it as it comes. You know, there's a great piece of advice. I don't know if you know, familiar with Russell Brunson.
Oh, yeah.
He says, it's like people talk about like when they launch like a Facebook ad campaign, for example, or because he's talking about online advertising in this example, but he's basically saying like when you spend money on ads, what you're doing is it's market research. It's not a waste of money. You know, so say if you take like $500 and you launch an ad campaign, like people go, oh, I don't want to waste that money. You haven't wasted that money. Like what you've got is feedback from the market, right? And there's never in the history of time been a way to get better feedback than that, you know? So you just need to go out there, test, get feedback, and then iterate, and then improve. Don't try and make everything perfect beforehand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't hold off on that ad campaign. Launch it, fuck it up. You haven't wasted money. You find out where you fucked up, so you don't fuck up again the next time, and then it gets better and better. And that's the only way you truly actually learn. I don't think, if you sit back trying to let it all, like, and also what you think is perfection is actually way off perfection, because you've never, like you say, you've never got feedback from the market. You're only getting internal feedback from yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? So your interpretation of perfection could not be
how accurate is it?
Exactly. And
have you done perfect? Have you been perfect?
That's what I'm saying.
Pulled it off?
It's probably very imperfect, as a matter of fact. You know, so
the fun thing, in my experience, always has been the reason to get out of bed in the morning is experimenting. It is working with clients and experimenting, and as opposed to trying to control it. And like, I hate that. I love to take the position of, because I want a surprise. It's like relevancy, you know. So the fun thing is always, so what would you like to walk away with a greater sense of, or have a greater sense of mastery in what area? In public speaking, in the areas that you had concerns about, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm modeling inquiry.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's like, wow, he or she, wow, he didn't say turn to page number 3, chapter 2 of his book, and now we're going to learn this thing, right? It's about relevancy. It's like, I don't know what's going on in your life, so what should we work on? You know, what would you like? that's interesting, right? And then from that, I don't have to be the defended expert. I get to be the enthusiastic tour guide.
All right, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it, actually, right? Yeah. Interesting.
I don't have to impress you. However, I do hold myself accountable to solve it, and we're going to explore this together. And I get you to ask questions. And then you go, well, what if, and what if, and what if? And then you go, oh, I never looked at it that way.
That's how you really solve a problem, man. That's how I do it with all my clients, man. Like I say, all my clients come to me and they're like, oh, Brett, I need that. And I'm like, why do you need that?
Why?
You know, tell me what you want. Like, what are you trying to do? You know, I get clients come to me and be like, Brett, I need this website. It needs to have this, and this. And how can it have this, and this? And I say, my first question is like, what are you selling, man? Who are you selling it to? You know, like, and they're like, oh, I'm selling this. And like, you don't need any of that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but most people don't think like that, right? They're just...
Well, people are insecure too, right? And in all fairness, they're insecure. They don't think like that. They're like, well, there are 50 different types of people in my experience, so therefore my website, my front door has to have 50 doors on it. As opposed to big smiling face, a paragraph, and a big button.
Yeah, exactly. And then people
What
say...
do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? You just read the paragraph, you press the big damn button.
Exactly.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
But wait, I want the other tabs, and I want to go, and I want to...
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't work, man.
No.
Doesn't work. But a lot of people would think that, like it's funny because I actually get clients come to me and they're asking for websites and stuff, and I'm in a position to be like, yeah, I'll build your website, and I actually don't, man. I'm like, you don't fucking need it. Go away. Just build a landing page, use this software, you'll be fine. You know, and they're like, what the fuck, mate? He doesn't want my money.
That's right. He doesn't want money. I was ready to throw. $5 grand.
Fuck
at
myself,
him.
really, but yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, it's like, I can see that, right? It's like,
yeah.
see, and you're in a situation here too where you don't have to come up with $2,000 US a month, and it's like, I bought that TV.
Yeah.
I may not make the rent. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I wonder how much of commerce, like service-based commerce like that, is just people building shit that is not needed to be built and offering services that aren't needed. Like, I bet like 80-90% of...
It's got to be.
Yeah, just money's just getting wasted, isn't it?
Right.
It's somebody that's got money to spend it on somebody else that's wasting their money, and it's just...
And the guy knows.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get what you need out of it.
Yeah, he's just doing it but not telling you.
Right.
And then it's like 90% of people just blowing their money, man. It's crazy, right?
Right.
I always say that to like people ask me why did you get into online marketing instead of web design, and web design's great, but I find when you're doing web development for smaller businesses, I always say, like, I don't like burning a hole in my client's pocket. And that's the thing, man. Like, with online marketing, you make your clients money. You know, if I take on a client, that basically what I'm trying to do is break them even as quickly as possible, so then that what I'm making them pays me. Do you get what I mean?
That's kind.
Yeah, whereas when you're building a website for somebody, like, somebody can come to you and be like, if I say, like, I'm just a web developer, somebody comes to me and is like, build me a website. I don't ask any of those questions. I don't say, why do you want it? You know, and they could be completely fucking clueless. And I build them their website, I take money, I burn a hole in their pocket, and then they go away and they're just disgruntled because their original business wasn't working. That's how I kind of got into online marketing. So it's like, well, actually, let's, instead of just me doing what you tell me to do, like, let me consult with you and let's actually help your business make money. Do you get what I mean?
Yes. I was going to ask you, how many people read something this morning which the lights went off about people who build stuff? How many clients do you have, or not clients, but let's just say people that reach out? How often do people reach out to you, or have you had this experience, where your sense of what they want to do is avoid interacting with human beings? I will build the perfect machine, and that machine will get me all these leads. I don't have to close anybody. I don't have to pick up the phone and create a connection. I'll call Brett, we'll build this amazing thing, it works for everybody else, everybody on Facebook will see the ad. They will click on it, and 40% of the people that click on it are going to give me their name and their email. I'm going to create a magnificent funnel, and all these names and emails, people are just going to flow into my low-end product, and they're just going to roll through my entire system, all the way up to including my 50-hour weekend intensive, where they'll all be lining up. And I didn't have to talk to a single person.
Well, yeah, that's common, right? Because people don't want to talk to people there, and that's why they should come and hire somebody like you, actually, because they have anxiety, right? They're scared to pick up the phone or whatever. But it depends on the product. So I mean, like if you're selling something cheap, you can generally close people online without talking to them. But if you're like a coach or a consultant or something, then you're going to have to be interactive with people, man.
You're going to have to.
And also, especially if you're selling high ticket items, you have to close. Like, there's a thing, it's about like changing the selling environment, man. And you need to actually move people out of your email sequence and onto a call in order to close high ticket items, man. It's very difficult. No one's going to come online and be like, oh, buy now, $10,000. Put in my card number. Do you know what I mean? That shit does not happen. Like,
who even does a $600 bucks? Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah,
to
well,
me.
it's still a hard sell, right?
It's a lot of money, and there's a lot of stuff that looks really sexy, and people today, they really want to know. It's like, I want to get a sense of you, and my bullshit detector to read you. Can you really spend a minute with me on the phone and get me to buy it? Because you know what, I would love to be on the phone with you and have an experience where I'm going to grill you a bit. I'm going to put you under the interrogation, and you're going to survive it. Because if you survive it, I actually found somebody who's going to deliver to me, or the likelihood, based on my awareness of reading people, is I would bet much more likely to think that you're going to create a sexy video, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull out I don't care, 3 figures, like anything over $100, right?
I actually say this to like my like freelancer students on my email course when they contact me. I always say like if you're taking on a new client, just get on Skype with them straight away, just video call them straight away, because nobody else is doing it. Everybody else is trying to hide. Do you know what I mean? If you just like get on a video call, you're probably like the only one. Say if like 20 people are pitching for that job, you're probably the only one out of the 20. I can almost guarantee you that it's like, call me now. Do you know what I mean? Or schedule a call, whatever it might be.
Yeah, the only button they get.
Yeah, the only
picture of your smiling face, a paragraph.
Yeah.
Schedule our strategy call.
Yeah, and actually get on a call, go on a video. But everyone's like, oh, I don't really want to go on a video. Well, and this is what I was going to say again. Like the clients I have problems with is like when they have that attitude, right? It's like, well, I don't really want to take calls, or like I don't really want to. I understand like you don't want to take calls if you're selling something that costs like $5, because it's like there's practicality there, right? You don't want to spend all time on the phone, like
Can't do it.
Yeah, but if you don't want to get on the call to close like 5K or 10K,
I know, right?
Like, sorry, I didn't realize you were like rolling in the millions. Do you get what I mean? Which they're not.
I can't be bothered.
Which they're not
with this 5K call.
Yeah, which they're not. They need the money, right? So I always say like, well, you don't have to do that, okay? But if you don't, your product, your sales process is going to be shit.
Yeah.
You probably won't make any money. And then they're like, well, is there not another way? Is there not another way? It's like, nah, there's not. Like, people buy from people, and sure, you don't have to do it, but then you don't make money. Right. So you better fucking get over it.
Yeah. Like,
that's it. Like, there's no other answer. Right. Like, It's
the hit or miss. That's what they call me. It's like, I have people who can close like a demon today, but tomorrow at 10 a.m. or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, or can they close it? And that's their horror. It's like, I blew a $5,000 deal. I blew it. And you won't. But you really have to face the devil, right? Mm. You have to be willing to suck initially. And then you'll find a way to inspire, motivate, and propel yourself. And you realize, oh, wait a minute. Maybe Guy Monroe, he said something to me. He reminded me that there were mornings I wasn't in the mood to get up and go to work. I can't find it. And then I'm in the shower and I'm thinking, well, if I don't go to work today, could lead to me not showing up to work tomorrow and the day after. And what if I get fired and I lose my home? Okay, never mind. I'm in the mood. I got myself in the mood.
And this is a real issue. And when I first met you, I was kind of like, you said, your name's Guy, you're a charisma coach. And I'm like, okay, so what does that kind of mean? I didn't really know, right? And then I'm kind of like, a lot of people would be like, well, why would I need to learn charisma? Why would I need to get coaching for anxiety? But it's actually very relevant in a lot of things. I mean, even like I say with my clients who don't want to, who are fucking up their business. Everybody wants to spend money on tech, yeah, like build me a website, build me a sales funnel, but nobody wants to actually invest in the real problem, which is their ability to like close a sale, their ability to go on. I got other clients as well, and I'm like, use YouTube, because it's highly relevant for your business. Yeah. I mean, I say you don't need to build a big subscriber base. There are perks to using YouTube, for example, through like retargeting. You don't need a big audience. Just put some organic content out there. And when we run your ads, we'll retarget those who watch your videos and stuff like that. So that it improves. So they don't have to build a big channel and they're like, I don't really want to go on video. So they're sabotaging their own business by not investing like in themselves.
Right.
So what you're actually doing with your clients is massively beneficial, man. I think people need to invest more in themselves, right?
They need to, yes, and they need to look at it, because in a field of massive competition, it's about leadership. So when people say, oh, I could never be like Tony Robbins, it's like, you don't have to be like Tony Robbins. You have to be your version of what's true. Tony may be a pusher, like he has an aggressive male masculinity. Well, if a 80-pound, if a woman who's 80 pounds soaking wet runs that energy, it's going to appear very weird. If she runs the kind of energy that naturally comes from her with that level of authority in her feminine way, it'll close. And here's the piece that people don't understand, and I would tell this to anybody who wants to become self-employed. You'll go on YouTube and you'll see the videos about the authors and the Udemy classes, and you will see all these wonderful things, these products that are non-interactive, right? And what people don't realize is those are how fortunes are made. That's the long money. But they call it the long money for a reason. If you're going to be self-employed, you need to be able to get on the phone with somebody and close your monthly expenses with one phone call. You have to go for, everybody's version of high ticket sales is different, but we're talking thousands of dollars. It's like get someone to commit to a 4-month training package with you that's $2,500. They pay $500 a month. Okay, you're not going to be able to do that with a form and a video because they got to grill you a bit. And so that's what you should target, because that's what's going to keep the kids fed and the rent paid and get the mortgage paid and the car payments paid. That's what you're going to do. It doesn't have to be $10,000. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it has to be a large enough number, because what people don't realize when they get started, and you know this from personal experience, you have a Udemy. You're a Udemy creator. They go, I'm going to create this one class, and 100,000 people are going to sign up this month, and they're going to, and just think, let's see, I get $9 from Udemy times 100,000. We're good. And what's the reality of the long game?
I'm going to break out my calculator here because I heard this this really good example, man. Like exactly what you're talking about. What was it? And the guy was like, I think it was a YouTube guy. His name's Dan Locke. He's a pretty good guy, actually. Yeah, that was it. He was saying if you sell a product, if you sell a product that's like $100 or $9, how many of those have you got to sell to make $1 million, right? And it was something ridiculous, like you got to sell like 100,000, right? If you sell a product that's $10,000, you got to sell it to 100 people, and you've made $1 million. If you think about that,
Think about it.
Can you sell to 100 people? If you can sell to 100 people, you're a millionaire.
Yes.
It's a much better way to look at it, right? But you can only do that by having confidence.
Yes.
And by overcoming those anxiety things. And that's where I say, like,
it's worth facing it.
invest in yourself, man. And people need to stop looking at, like, oh, just let's fix it with this tech or let's fix it with that tech, you know, and just spend small money here and small money there. Like, dude, like, I actually know people that live here in Chiang Mai that they're probably some of the most successful people that I know, and they literally don't have websites. They just pick up a phone and call people, and they make loads of money. Like, you know, people really do underestimate the power of yourself, right? Do you get what I mean?
It's everything. It is everything. And it's like you said. A wise coach told me a long time ago, he said, you want to build machines that generate income for you? It's absolutely doable. And it is the long money. And yes, you will become rich over time. You write a book, nothing comes of it. You write a second book, but the first book is out there and it's getting around and it has a .com on the end of it and they go to your website. Every activity leads to potential another interaction and so on. But our ability to just connect with another human being. And so let me just give a tip, all right? So to anybody watching, I would say this. I want you to think about this idea, which is, what if you don't have to close the client? Here's the two pieces of information that you need. One is, if you're worrying about how much money they have, if they can afford to pay for you, you don't know that they have any money. So don't worry about them saying yes or no. In other words, what if you don't sell them your idea? What if you sell yourself your idea while you're on the phone with them, while you're Zooming with them, while you're Skyping with them? Move into your heart. Get in touch with what you love about the project. What turns you on about it? Your objective is to get turned on right now while you're on the phone with them, to be authentically inspired. That will read as zero bullshit. And that will all ring true. He's not lying. He's not lying. Obviously, I'd have to verify. If he's throwing me figures, I have to verify the figures. Yet I'm reading no lie off of this man. Right? What if you're down to $50 and you've got somebody on the phone and your rent is due in 3 days, which means you've got to close this person in order to, and get a next business day payment in order to pay your bills on time? How do you hold the state of being enthusiastic? Well, you're sure as hell not going to hold it by looking at your bills that are due. It's really great. No, really, it's an incredible deal. You need to take this deal right now. Versus what's great about the deal, what's great about the deal, what's great about the deal, and what's great about the deal, and what's great about the deal, and what's great about the deal is, and be aware that you don't know whether they have the 5K you need, the 2K you need, the whatever you need, the 100K you need. You don't know that. So what you're going to do is you must focus on what you love about the deal, what you can find about the deal that you love, and you keep bouncing that off of yourself. And what they're going to see is you're bouncing it off yourself and you're finding it's true. There will be a great return on investment. The ROI is built into that. It will create the returns you need. And then you self-inquire. Like Brett said, you ask the questions yourself. Well, what is great about the deal? What works about the deal? What's interesting about the deal? What's supportive about the deal? What problems does the deal solve? That's it. And then the ask comes. You know, may I please be paid now? And the amount. And say it fearlessly, because you don't have control of whether or not they have the money. Do you? Do you really know that
No,
if I say it just right, he's got it? The guy may have $100 in his pocket.
Yeah. You can only focus. You can't focus on what you can't control. You can only focus on what you can control, right? Which is yourself.
Yeah.
That's great advice, man. I mean, where can people go to learn about this stuff? Obviously, you're here. You're writing a book.
Sure. Thank you. They can go to guymonroe.com.
Okay.
and that'll take you to me. And I'm actually one of the guys with that page.
What's that?
The paragraph of text.
Oh,
with the
right.
button for the strategy call.
Right, okay. That's what you need, man. Landing page.
See, the objective is this. The objective is fall in love with your work. Be in love with your work when you're talking to the person. Be in love. You don't have any control whether they want to go out with you on a date, but be in love. And I promise you this, 9 times out of 10, if you're authentically in love for the entire duration of the call, and you ask for the money, please, if they have the money, they will say yes.
Yeah, yeah.
If they have the money, because you're so rare. You're not trying to close them. You're an ally.
And this stuff can be taught.
And this stuff can be taught.
So is it GuyMonroe.com?
GuyMonroe.com.
Okay, cool. So, guys, I hope you liked that interview. We went pretty deep there. Guy Monroe, the charisma coach. Like I say, you can find him at GuyMonroe.com, and we'll let you know when your book is going to be written, right? Mm-hmm. Well, how long do you reckon that will take?
Well, it's going to be a training process.
Okay.
Think about it. It'd be like having singing lessons or whatever. It's going to be lessons, so you can lift weights with your fear.
Okay.
Fear lifting weights, kind of a weird thing, isn't it?
Well,
get past that. Get into the fun.
Yeah.
It's not about the anxiety that you're experiencing. It's because you're trying to win, but you're using the wrong tools. So this is a series of tools that will create that enthusiasm for real right now for you.
But in the meantime, if people want to speak to you one-on-one, it's GuyMonroe.com. We look forward to the book. And what else did I want to mention? Damn, I'm forgetting. Yes, that was it. So I've just made updates to the Patreon. So I needed to announce this because those of you that are watching this, that want to support this podcast on Patreon, that like the videos, head over there, because what I'm actually doing is there's an option on there for certain patrons. I'm going to announce who's coming onto the podcast ahead of time. So you can ask questions through me to people like Guy, and but that's only for the Patreon. So you'll find out ahead of time. You're also going to get the episodes earlier as well, because we drop clips throughout the week. And by the time you're watching this, if you're watching the full episode for this podcast right now, it's come at the end of the week. But for Patreons, they get it at the beginning of the week. So yeah, check that out. I hope you liked it. If you're listening, I hope you like the audio. And this is Brett for the Short Time Podcast. Until next time, take care.